Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, virtual football fans around the world. And welcome to Game 2 of this Tuesday night SFLm triple header, where the Birmingham Hellhounds look to close their inaugural season locking up the #1 seed, visiting the 4-5 Philadelphia Cougars. My name's John Campbell, and I'm joined today by my good friend and colleague, Mark Lopez. Mark, what are you looking for in tonight's game?
I mean, you got one team that is top of the standings trying to maintain their standings, right, on one end. Meanwhile, Philadelphia trying to wrestle for that middle of the standings to get home field advantage coming into the playoffs. It'll be definitely an interesting matchup, and if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have hopefully a shootout between these two teams.
I think you're probably right about that, Mark, between the high explosive receiving weapons that the Cougars have and the good mix of ground and area assault coming out of Birmingham. We should expect to see a high-scoring affair. Philadelphia has won the kick and elected to receive the opening kickoff. Birmingham lines up in their away greens, kicking the ball out to Philadelphia's Queen, Jackson, and Dallas Sanders back there doing receiving typically. Pulling out now with an excellent run up to the 38-yard line. Let's introduce you to this Philadelphia offense, quarterbacked by Mike Skmizniak, joined in the backfield by Jesse Fretz and Smithers Witherson IV. And the wide receiving core, as we mentioned, headed by Victor Rojas and Lada McBrownski, joined by Queen, Jackson, and Dallas Sanders. Skmizniak lines up in a single back formation, motions Jackson to the near side of the field, looks at the Birmingham defense in front of him, and quickly hands the ball to the far side to Jesse the Fretch Prince, who gets a nice little 4-yard gain on that.
Yeah, good start for Jesse, and we, throughout the season, we've come to know him as one of the premier running backs in the league. 119 carries, 526 yards, 4.4 average yards per carry. He is very productive for this team, and one of the main reasons that they've been scoring so well.
That's absolutely right. And they're joined by tight ends Dane the Lock Jensen and Tony Zoma. As we see there, Smithers Wilson IV, the other halfback out of Philadelphia, getting the remaining 6 needed for that first down. And this Philadelphia Cougars offense is rounded out by the line, Al Friedman and Duke LaRue. Skmizniak now lining up again in that single back formation. Looks like they're happy to give their running back some room to go. Receiver and a tight end on the far side, 2 receivers on the near side, handing it off to Jesse Fretz, who sheds the first tackle and falls for about a 3-yard gain.
And you can already tell their game plan for this ball game is run first and try to get into ahead of schedule. And if we have to pass, we'll see when we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
I think you're probably right about that, Mark, as Skmizniak lines up again in the single back formation. There's a quick out route, but excellent defense there by William Patterson, the outside linebacker coming down from Albuquerque. Let's take this time now to introduce you to the rest of that Birmingham defense. The line of Fred Himes, Hendrick Callahan, and Rodney Smith are leading the league as a team unit in sacks, along with linebackers Monte Parson III, William Patterson, and Saeed Gore. They're going to try to stop Skmizniak here, who has 3 receivers on the near side, takes a quick drop back, and finds Dallas Sanders for a beautiful catch on the numbers on the outside of the field.
Yeah, great catch by Sanders there, the Deaf Team player coming down from the Oklahoma City Renegades in the Pro League and playing here for for Philadelphia. And what a play there, bringing up Philly into the 1st and 10 territory of Birmingham.
Sanders just finding that hole between the 2 remaining members of that Birmingham defense, cornerback Justin Sakasi and free safety Scotty Kilgannon. Ooh, Skmizniak with a dangerous drop back there, nearly sacked, but gets the ball off just in time to Victor Rojas, who is laying on the field and is slow to get up. The Cougars cannot have that tonight.
The V in Victor Rojas probably stands for very hurt right now as he goes down. Wow, I was about to credit him a lot for, bailing his quarterback running a return route, trying to make himself open, but he goes down in the process. And unfortunate, that's a big weapon that Skamizniak is going to miss. Hopefully he comes back.
You've got that right, Mark. Rojas is the league leader in receiving yards and touchdowns this year. But that's all right. Fresh Prince takes it, and he says, we can do this on the ground. Philadelphia opens scoring 6 points on their first drive of the game.
They bowed down and they rolled out the red carpet for the Fresh Prince. Look at how wide open the running lanes are. He just walks in. His lead blocker had nobody to block, essentially, and there was one tackle to break. He slipped free, and Jesse puts up 6. It's a quick 2-minute and 3-second drive. What a play.
And that's what the Prince does so well. If you don't gang tackle him right off the bat, he's going to shed it, and he showed it there. Excellent kick right through the uprights for Sophia Peaches, and Philadelphia takes a 7-point lead, as you said, Mark, with just over 2 minutes on that drive. They're going to go ahead and kick it off now with Birmingham prepared to take the ball. Nolan Pierce, their usual return man, lined up in the end zone, ready to take this kick. Beaches puts the ball up, carries the length of the field. There is Pierce with the ball, crossing the 25 up to about the 30 and gets brought down before you can cross that line. Here comes Jordan Goodman taking the field for the first time tonight with his offense. Goodman lines up with a split with a single offset halfback. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Quick drop back, looks around and finds Has-Been Keys, his top receiver, for the first catch of the night. Keys is joined in that wide receiver group by the big stepper, Marquis Sango and Nolan Pierce. Halfbacks Lenore West and Robert Nemchek are in the backfield, along with the fullback Jalen Wells. And the tight ends, Django West and Mike Kleinecht, are helping Damon Alucard, and the center, D'Angelo DeJesus, with blocking duties. Gooden lines up again in the single back formation, this time with 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Nemchek stays back to block, and the ball is nearly picked off by Rondé Barber, looking for another quick pass to a receiver on the numbers.
Yeah, it looks like the intended target was Nolan Pierce, the returner. Two targets to the outside, both on fade routes or go routes. This time, Philadelphia clocks in on the play and puts a hand on the trajectory of the ball.
Let's take a moment now to introduce you to that Philadelphia defense. Is clearly, come out to play, but they get beat on that zone look. The defensive line of Carlos Carter, Shin Uneda, and Harrison Kilgore are joined by linebackers J.C. Wallace Jr. and Nick Fargo, a dev player down from D.C. And this Philadelphia Cougars secondary is certainly no joke, with Drew Drizzy and Sammy Seatbelt III at the corner positions, with Tyler Highfield and Kev Say Jr. as your 2 safeties. Here comes Jordan Goodman again in that single back formation with a good spread of receivers around the field. Looks and gets his man. There's Has-Been Keys once again just over that first down marker, catching the ball at about the 24-yard line.
And the air attack has been quite impressive so far. Goodman, a very impressive season, right? Almost 2,000 yards, probably at 2,000 yards already coming into this ball game, and he's continuing that air attack, that offense that runs through him, puts up another completion. They're back in the same formation again.
Goodman is clearly comfortable here, and you can see why. Whether it's Keys or Pierce, he is finding his men open up on that far side of the field. Looks like he is comfortably throwing to his right today, as Keys gets them down at about the 6-yard line there for a 1st and goal to go.
Yeah, and that's how they've been attacking this Philly soft zone defense. Cover 2 safety. They've been bringing the heat through slants or fade routes, and Goodman just picking off this defensive part.
Jalen Wells in the first time in the field tonight, getting that lead block going, trying to open up holes for Robert Nemchek, who falls forward for a small gain but can't quite find the end zone. Now looking at 2nd and goal to go from about the 2.5-yard line.
That 1-2 punch of running backs, Wells and Nemchek, both actually depth players from the pro level. but great running by Nemchek there to set up second and goal at the 3 yards.
This time we see Wells get the ball, that inside fullback handoff, and he gets a couple more yards to gain, but can't quite punch it through still. Now 3rd and goal to go, but it looks like the refs are going to spot them inside the 1-yard line, just inches at this point.
And they can do anything here. Quarterback sneak, we've seen them hand this up to Nemchek to the outside. A weak side run with Wells blocking is prime for a play here.
And there it is, a toss to West, gets to the outside, and she sheds that first tackle and leaves Fargo on the ground, walks in for the score, 6 points for Birmingham, and out comes the rookie for his debut, Matty Maniac, looking to tie the game at 7 points all.
And what a play as well by Nemchek. They match now Philly, touchdown for touchdown, rushing to the end zone for rushing to the end zone. So with Matty Maniac's debut here, his first kick, welcome to the league, sir. You are officially an SFL football player here in the minor league.
And high offensive output you called for tonight, Mark, and you've got it. We've got 2 scores with under 5 minutes played, and that's what we love to see here in the SFLm. Here's Maniac kicking the ball away out to this Philadelphia return unit. This time it is Queen Jackson who gets an excellent return up to the 37-yard line before she's stopped.
Yeah, Queen Jackson also from OKC, actually a handful of OKC players here in the Philadelphia roster. There's that Queen Jackson, Dallas Sanders, wide receiver. Also on the defensive line, Shin Yoneda and Harrison Kilgore, as well as Sammy Seatbelt, the third, all playing from OKC and playing almost the same, seeing the same team in a different locker room, but doing themselves great here for Philly.
And on the other side of the ball, this Birmingham defense has a couple of Albuquerque and Fort Worth players as well, and it's nice to see that team chemistry come down into the SFLm locker rooms. Oh, as we see just an excellent sack by Rodney Smith, the rookie defensive end, coming in off the outside to just eat Skamizniak's lunch.
Yeah, and this was just pure speed outrunning the outside blocker. The blocker had no chance of blocking him because he was just that quick, that agile, runs around the tackle and gets home to Skamizniak. That's a 5-yard loss. And those sacks put Philadelphia in a very tight spot here, having to throw.
That's right, going out in the empty set. If you've watched this Philadelphia Cougars team play, you've seen them line up in the empty time and time again, and that is why, because Skamizniak has all the faith in his world in McBrownski down the field. Huge catch there for not just the first down, but then a little bit more in tight coverage.
Yeah, absolute trust in your number 2 receiver. You know, your number 1 goes down in Rojas. Let's have Vladimir McBrownski play ball and, you know, go wild out there downfield.
Next man up, as they say, and sure enough, here it is again going to McBrownski, but can't quite make that shoestring rolling catch there, setting up for a 2nd and 10 after some tight coverage from the Birmingham corners.
Yeah, the receiver was jammed. Actually, Skamizniak had 2 other receivers in the inside open on 2 slants, but couldn't find them. Instead, it's 2nd and 10.
Skamizniak lines up with a single back. We have motion from Queen Jackson going from the near side to the far side with tight ends on the near. Skamizniak takes a 5-step drop. Beautifully timed pass to McBrownski, who's just undercutting that zone a little bit for an excellent and much needed catch.
And he's been playing well, Skamizniak. I mean, despite the pressure, you see 5 green uniforms being sent to rush, but he finds his receiver. It's another first down. And this high-powered offense in the previous drive was doing it through the ground. This time, Skamizniak through his arm and through the air.
Philadelphia is showing their versatility here, handing the ball off after that great pass to Jesse Fretz, who shifts through a couple of tackles, gets a nice 7-yard gain there on first down, setting up a 2nd and 3 from about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Fretz, that's what he's been doing all night long. Not surprised he was able to get there. This defense, though, had to lock in. They only have 5 in the box. A little soft against a potential run play. We'll see if Mike tricks them into a pass, but I mean, the Birmingham defense ready for a pass.
There's Dane the Lock moving to the north side and running behind his Smithers Wilson, using that big body of the fridge to get to a 3rd and inches, just a couple of yards gained there after some great gang blocking from Dane the Lock Jensen and Duke LaRue, but not quite enough for that first down. Here as Philadelphia lines up in the empty set shotgun look. Only need a few inches, but they're going to go for a Skamizniak slide.
Yep, and your 3rd and inches, they line up in shotgun. You'd think the defense knows, there's a good chance the quarterback just takes it himself. They do, but Birmingham were thinking pass, and they couldn't stop the run in time.
Could not get down to Skamizniak, who likes to scramble, likes to show off those legs, and that's why he wants to pull the defense away from where they're expecting. There we have another pass on the outside to the numbers to none other than Ladon McBrownski.
Yeah, McBrownski again, picking up where the void that Rojas left. It's another ace look here by Skamizniak and company.
Handing the ball off to Fretz Prince, but he is met at the line by the attacking linebackers of Birmingham. That was William Patterson again meeting him right at that line for basically no gain. 3rd and 6 now. Philadelphia lining up again in this single back formation. They're pretty comfortable in these kinds of looks. We've got quad receivers here, 2 on each side of the field. Quick drop back, scans the field, rolls to the near side slightly, and finds Dallas Sanders at the goal line for another touchdown pass.
I mean, what a route by Sanders. He runs a post. They give him so much space off of the snap, and he just left his defender 3 steps ahead of him. Skamizniak sees him wide open, throws to him into the end zone. It's a beautiful combination of the correct things happening for that singular offensive play, John, and they put up another 6. We have 21 total offensive points with 1.5 minutes to go in the first.
Sophia Peaches brings out the kick for absolutely gorgeous extra point. 14-7 Philadelphia now. Let's see how Birmingham responds after another strong drive by the Cougars offense. Are they going to go back to the air again, or are they going to try and mix it up with another attack on the ground? Here comes Pierce with an excellent return, coming out to the 40-yard line, up to the 50, and gets forced out of bounds at the 48. Birmingham starting the ball on the Philadelphia side of the field. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Goodman and company.
Absolutely. We saw a lot of this last week as well from Nolan Pierce. His ball return skills are to die for if you're any team in the minor league. Just his ability to scan and see the field, see an opening to the outside. And, in theory, those breaks to the outside is where a lot of ball returners make their pay. Nolan Pierce shows his stuff, sets them up at the 48-yard line of Philly.
Skamizniak is on the bench as Jordan Goodman is lined up with the single back, sends West out to a more of an empty look now with 2 receivers on the far side, 3 on the near. Passes the ball out looking for Has-Been Keys, but the corner from Philadelphia, Sammy Seatbelt, steps up and nearly comes down with that pick.
Yeah, they line up again in a similar defensive zone there, but this time Seatbelt on the outside coverage, the outside quarters, able to jump and tip the pass, because otherwise that's a wide open receiver who would have caught the ball for plenty yards.
Birmingham snaps the ball, finds a huge hole in the zone there for the tight end Django West, who just found a beautiful spot for a first down and then some, where Philadelphia looked like they were a little confused on that zone coverage look.
Yeah, rather than confused, it seems like Birmingham made the best play call against, because their linebackers were too shallow on their zone coverage. The DBs too deep on their zone coverage, and that was just wide open.
Goodman takes the ball, passes it again to West, who is catching it at the line, and then momentum carries him backwards and ends up actually losing a yard. 2nd and 11 now after back-to-back passes to the tight end. They're lined up now in the single back formation. Looks like they're shying away from these power eyes and guns. Goodman steps back and finds an open tight end. Django West right in the middle of the field for an easy score. And once again, Birmingham answers in kind after a Philadelphia touchdown.
That was just great route running. Unfortunately, the defender tried to jump the gun there, John, and tried to catch a pick. But the downside is, if you don't make the play, you leave your backside wide open. That's exactly what happened. Number 87 to number 84, Django West makes a catch, beats everyone. 3 defenders trailing him. It's another touchdown, John, and I think we're on pace for 100 points to end the ball game.
I think you're about right with that as Matty Maniac's kick squeaks into that left upright there, making it a tie 14 game. Maniac out again for the place kick, going to send it on down the field to Jones and Jackson. This time Queen Jackson takes the reception, and she's looking for as strong a return as she just saw on the other side of the field. Gets met just shy of the 40-yard line, brought down at about the 38.
It is still a pretty decent return. Not the best catch off of the kickoff, but still recovers, brings it all the way to 38. Is a good starting position for any team in any division, even up in the Pro League.
You've certainly got that right, Mark, and it's the kind of thing that Philadelphia is going to need to capitalize on if they're going to continue to find success here tonight. Lining up in that nice, strong formation with tight ends on either side of the line, motioning one from the far side down to the near side. That's Dallas Sanders, the receiver, into more of a slot position now. Skuzniak's looking to see if it's a zone or a man in front of him. Drops back and is again just eaten up by Rodney Smith. Second sack of the night for the rookie defensive end.
And it's a little shocking. That's where they moved the extra tight end. But unfortunately, both tight ends on that side run out for passes, meaning it's a one-on-one again, the tackle versus the defensive end, and number 99, Rodney Smith, once again beats him through sheer speed. It's another sack for 5.
5-yard loss once again, forcing Philadelphia into this empty set. But guess what? Skuzniak loves the empty set. Finds Sanders immediately for getting those yards back, and then some. Huge first down for Philadelphia to end this quarter. First quarter with massive offensive outputs from both teams, tied 14 all. Philadelphia is going to be starting the second quarter at the Birmingham 46-yard line, about holding onto the ball with a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, great first quarter so far, John. At least offensively, we have seen a few great defensive plays between the sacks of Rodney Smith, the tip passes by either team, but really it's the big plays that have been generating plenty of yards, and that's been pretty much it. Big plays by both offenses.
Skuzniak lining up in a single back formation, motioning Dane the Lock Jensen from tight on the line on the far side to a bit of space on the near side. Again, sending the big body out for a reception, and McBrownski makes the grab here. Can't quite shift off the 2 tackles for a 4-yard gain.
A nice short pass. The defense actually giving plenty of room to the 2 wideouts, but they tried to take advantage by running flats. The defenders didn't cover deep. They stayed flat and ensured no further gain besides the 4.
Handing the ball off now to Jesse Fretz. Gets a nice little gain there, setting up a 3rd and 3 after some more shifting running on his part to the near side of the field.
Witherson, the 4th, I believe now, is on the field to take Fretz's place. We'll see if they go run here or pass. They've done both in this formation, both times in 3rd and short. We'll see if they pass or run.
Birmingham defense showing some aggressive pressure, but Skuzniak rolls out of it and gets the ball out, but the coverage is just too tight. McBrownski can't come down with the ball. 4th and 3 after a stellar defensive possession by Birmingham.
Yeah, he had him, and McBrownski even had maybe half a step on his defender, but great job by the corner to make that pass as difficult as possible to catch. Not necessarily hand in the ball or hand on the face, but just pressure enough on the receiver that it becomes a drop.
Tom Tupa puts the ball up in the air for a punt with some nice hang time, and Pierce is forced to wave for the fair catch at his 11-yard line. Not quite pinned all the way down like a coffin kick, but Goodman and company are going to have quite a ways to go if they're going to want to turn the momentum in this favor here in the second quarter. Lining up in the single back formation, one receiver on the near side with the tight end on the line, two receivers on the far side. Goodman drops back, scans the field, and just overthrows Django West. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Hasbin Keys. Keys, if he comes down with that ball, has open fields in front of him, but he just can't quite make it happen.
Yeah, Keys had open space. He was actually jammed a little bit as well. So maybe his route was underdeveloped when the throw was made, but nonetheless, they go back another single back formation here. Goodman primed to throw here. They've almost exclusively passed out of single back sets.
Keys motioning to the far side of the field against the Philadelphia nickel defense, but they stay still. Brings some great pressure onto Goodman, but he gets the ball away to his new favorite toy, Django West. That's his fourth target in 5 plays by the Birmingham offense. Looks like Goodman is happy to go to this tight end now here that this first half has got a little rust off of it.
Yeah, that was just a solid seam route, a seam route that just beats everyone on the shallow zone, meaning only the single high safety had any chance to stop him, but that also means it was an easy catch.
Skmizniak again under pressure, Jordan under pressure again, but gets that ball out in time to a nice little dragging receiver there. No sack, and instead we have a nice little 5-6 yard gain instead.
I tell you what, John, Goodman probably has nerves of steel the way he has been making these plays, despite pressure almost getting to him. How many times have we seen defenders be inches away from making the hit on him?
You've got that right. Carter, Kilgore, and Uneda are here to eat. They are fighting hard for these balls, but Goodman just is reading the field with extreme clarity and getting it out. That time handing it off to Nemchek, who can't manage to fall forward just for that first down that he needs. Instead, we're at 3rd and inches. Wouldn't be surprised here if we see Goodman try to take a page out of Skmizniak's book and maybe sneak for the first.
Like we've seen them give this to Wells in this formation. They'll give it to I think that's Lenore West.
That's right. That's Lenore West who gets the ball there, following her lead blocks well from both Jalen Wells, the fullback, and the guard Nutton on the near side, getting a nice little gain there. Now going back to Nemchek as we see the Hellhounds use that running back by committee philosophy that has worked so well for them this season. Nemchek taking the ball and is met a couple yards after the line and brought down for a gain of 3.
Yeah, and it's the first run they do out of this formation. They've been passing happily out of it, but they pick up 3 here. It's another eye. Joker's look here for Goodman. It's eye twins this time.
Lined up directly under center with Wells and West behind. West gets the ball, but Wells can't quite pick up the block. What could have been a huge gain ends up just being a quick short one. Now 3rd and 5. Birmingham's got some choices here, but they're probably going to air it out, I would think.
Yeah, with single back here, very likely here, John.
That offset single back, which they love to throw out of, moving Marquis Sango from the far side where he was alone into a sort of a bunched trips on the near side now, trying to make that Philadelphia defense tell their coverage scheme. And it's fine for another first down to Django West.
That's an interesting turn of events because we saw from the motion Philadelphia stayed in zone, John, and they overloaded the right side of the offense. And you'd think Philadelphia would adjust to that overloaded side, but instead, West, the lone tight end on the other side, finds a nice post route to eat up the zone once again.
5 receptions on 5 targets, nearly 100 yards already. West is looking to end his regular season strong and show why Birmingham is the cream of the crop in this league. Goodman tosses the ball to the far side to Lenore West, who swims through a tackle but is met swiftly by J.C. Wallace Jr. in the second layer, brought down for a gain of just 3.
Wallace actually broke free from the block of Django West, and that's how he was able to get and make the tackle. What a play by Wallace.
Now handing it off to Nemchek with a stiff arm, but was brought down immediately after by Sammy Seatbelt, doing great work coming in from the defensive secondary backfield to make the running game stop short.
I think if you're the defense here, you have to look at the previous play where you just made a wide open zone route against West. Got to stop the guy.
And there it is again. Django West toes just over the first down marker. Great defense over the middle of the field by Nick Fargo, but not quite enough to prevent the catch. Oh, but here comes the challenge flag. The Philadelphia coaching staff is saying that spot is not true. The first down was not caught, and that it should be third instead.
That red flag was thrown with so much authority. You'd think that he was, in the middle of a divorce. But we'll see if they're going to be able to make the call here. It looks to me like it's short.
It's a tight call. West is over the line and comes back to make the catch. We'll see if they say it's conclusive evidence or not. In fact, they say it was. The catch was made on this side of that first down marker. Philadelphia is not going to be charged a timeout, and now Birmingham's going to have to make a choice with 4th and inches deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, and despite what you said, West was ahead of the line, but not the ball, and a good call by the coach to challenge that.
Here comes Maniac for his first field goal attempt of his young career. The snap is in. The ball is moving slightly wide, and it hits the post and comes out. Maniac is fighting the wind here in Philadelphia and misses the 29-yard attempt.
Oh, man. You just inches off for making his first field goal of his career. And I've never been to Philly. I don't think I have. Is it known for the winds down there in Philly?
Well, if you're coming in from the still swamps of Alabama, maybe, because their Philly swirling winds down in the complex are giving Matty Maniac some fits here. Skmizniak takes the ball lined up right at his own 20. Ooh, gets the pass off to McBrownski, who is met immediately by the corner Dustin Sakasi and pushed down for just a 6-yard gain.
Man, everyone's always got to keep an eye on Rodney Smith. He almost once again gets to Skmizniak, but a sudden great block by the tackle keeps his quarterback safe.
There's a handoff to Jesse the Frets Prince, who makes a nice little move to gain those last 4 yards needed for the first down. Philadelphia is going to try to take this momentum shift in their favor and use the last 4 minutes of this quarter wisely. Lined up in a single back formation, handing the ball off to Smithers Wilkerson IV, who swims off the first hit and pushes through the second, getting an 11-yard gain. Strong running by the small back there.
Absolutely. I mean, he's so unassuming at 5'10", 215. But he packs power as he powers through that defender. Getting a first down, what felt like could have been a tackle for only a 2-yard gain. It's 1st and 10 now. 3 minutes to go here, John.
Moving the fridge again from the near side to the far side, trying to set up maybe some blocks up to the right side of the offense. Skmizniak drops back, reads for a pass. Great pickup on the pressure. Finds McBrownski right over the middle, who's able to cut north and make a few more yards out of nothing, and an excellent first down play.
Yeah, I mean, both the block pickup was great, and then McBrownski with a one-handed catch against man coverage. Credit the safety for making the tackle afterwards, but what a great individual effort by McBrownski.
Philadelphia moving down the field with strength and speed here. Skmizniak takes the snap from under center and finds his man, who McBrownski catches it down below the knees, brings him to a weird kind of momentum, and he's not able to run upfield. 2nd and inches now.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not a first down, it's still 2nd and inches. You're way ahead of schedule. But Jesse Fred's back in the backfield. Give it to him. Let him do his magic. And, I mean, that's a good recipe here for success.
Here we are lining up this time with Smithers Witherson, the fourth back there. Smithniak directly under center. Hands the ball off, met at the line, and Fretz just gets a couple of yards here. Like you said, Fretz is on the field. Get him the ball because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and this time, not an explosive play, but a patient play as he had to find a hole, had to zig and zag through the defenders to make the first down.
Here at the 2-minute warning, 14 all after an explosive first quarter. Things have cooled off and we've gotten a more defensively focused second quarter here. Philadelphia now trying to turn the tides squarely in their favor and get some points here at the end of the half. Lined up at the 32-yard line of Birmingham. Smisniak takes the snap. Surveys the field, gets the ball to Brownsky on a bit of a hitch route, who's able to turn around and get upfield and forced out of bounds finally by Scotty Kilgannon at the 12.
Yeah, and he just once again beat his man on the return, loops around, making Scotty have to chase an unideal route. And yeah, that's just once again individual effort. I think they might need to send help towards Scotty's way to try to stop Brownsky.
Outside of the field is doing well. It looked like the Birmingham defense might have breathed too heavy a sigh of relief when Rojas left the game early because McBrownsky has been feasting here since then. Philadelphia once again in the single back formation, sort of a joker look. Gets the ball over to who but McBrownsky right on the numbers, standing there at the triangle of the 10. Comes down with the pass, second and third now at that 10-yard line.
And you'd think if you just tuned in to the minor league that it's a next man up with McBrownsky. No, he's not next man up. He's the other man to Victor Rojas. Oh my God!
And when you've got running backs like they do in Philadelphia, you make it work every way that you can. Jesse Fretz with his second touchdown of the night pops right in for a score, putting the Cougars up 6 with 1:20 to go in the half.
It was just great blocking in the middle of the field. Just enough of a hole for Jesse Fretz to squeeze through. Not even squeeze through, just run through. So didn't need to make himself slim, just forward running, north-south. Gets to the end zone unimpeded.
Sophia's kick goes right up through the middle. 9 plays, nearly 80 yards, just over 3 minutes for that drive. Philadelphia now up 7 with just under 1.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Birmingham's going to take the kick, hoping for another strong return from Nolan Pierce because they are going to need to work quickly to get another score here. This time it's actually Marquis Sango taking the kick, and he gets brought down at his own 36-yard line.
I mean, so they still have their 3 timeouts, 1.5 minutes. There was the one drive where they were able to score in under 2 minutes as well, so I'm not surprised if they're able to muster something of a similar nature here, especially when Goodman has been throwing it a lot, especially when Goodman has been completing those throws a lot as well.
Setting up now with a offset eye, Lenore West lined up nearly behind the offensive tackle. Goodman directly under center, looking at the defense in front of him. He pitches to the far side up to West, who sheds the first tackle and is brought down shortly thereafter. 2nd and 6 now with a timeout called by Birmingham.
Nick Fargo with the tackle. J.C. Wallace there to slow the running back down with the first impact. 2 timeouts to go. I'm surprised they went with the run instead of a pass here.
And here we've got 2 receivers and a tight end on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side. Goodman directly under center, gets the ball out. Ooh, but big stepper, the rookie receiver, can't come down with a big catch.
Still, it's 3rd and 6. It does stop the clock, meaning you can set yourselves up for another play in the huddle.
Going back to that single back offset formation with quads look here, and there's a shovel pass You can tell that anyone from San Jose watching this game is having a bit of flashbacks from their earlier game tonight watching that shovel pass go. Works for Birmingham that time, and they're able to get the first down and call another timeout.
Yeah, it does work for them. And like with San Jose's case, it wasn't for a win or lose situation. It was just to get the first down.
Lining up again in the offset single back. Great pass down the field to Django West. Birmingham now using their final timeout of the half, but they have made some great strides down the field before having to use their 3 timeouts.
Just another seam route run by West, and another zone that was attacked to perfection by Goodman.
Goodman with a flipped offset halfback this time, offset to the near side. And the ball is picked off by Sammy Seatbelt, the third of Oklahoma City, brought down on his own 16-yard line.
Wow, Sammy Seatbelt, what a play. I mean, he puts a hand up here, John, bouncing it off his wrist, and the concentration to pick it off in midair. And this is against Goodman, one of the highest quarterback rating, fewest interceptions in the league. And Seatbelt puts another notch against an interception against Goodman.
Throwing to Has-Been Keys, who is Goodman's favorite target, too. Philadelphia is absolutely jumping for joy all up and down Broad Street right now. Here we've got Skimizniak lining up again under center. And the ball is handed off. It looks like they're going to be happy to take out the rest of this half on the ground. They don't need to score here because, remember, Philadelphia is going to be kicking the ball away in the second half. So if they're not going to, risk the ball too much, they're going to be happy to go in with 7 points at this half.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see. They might go back to the ground here, but if a big play happens that might change the tides here in one play, they might change their mind.
Jackson motioning to the near side of the field, but it's a distraction. They hand the ball off to Smithers in the fourth, who is shoulder checked there at the line. But no one's rushing to the line. Birmingham's out of timeouts, and the Philadelphia coaches are happy to let these last 10 seconds grind down, it looks like. Skimizniak very casually taking his group back to the line, and there's the whistles from the ref. One half of football is on the books here with Philadelphia up 21 to Birmingham's 14. Mark, tell me what you saw there in the first half.
It's a lot of offense. It's a lot of offense from both teams, and it has been mostly star players being and carrying their team off. For Philadelphia, it's McBrownski, right? For Birmingham, it's Django West. Sure, Jordan Goodman has been delivering the passes, but Django West really has been the biggest factor for them. So if you're the defense for either team, the adjustment, one of the biggest adjustments you can take is to try to take away the top receiver from the opposite team. Defend the seams against Django West, put another body on McBrownski, make those catches difficult. But Django West, unsurprisingly, gets player of the half with the way he's been catching those balls.
Absolutely. The big tight end from Birmingham has solidified himself as a favorite target for Goodman over the course of this season. And it's no doubt why, looking at that excellent first half performance. Here comes Philadelphia with Sophia Peaches out to kick the opening of the second half. The kick is up and away. And there in the back is Nolan Pierce to catch the ball. Tries to duck under a hit, but is brought down with some authority. And the refs say, ooh, a clip there, maybe a block in the back by Birmingham. They're going to be brought on back down. That return from Pierce, sort of for naught. That's a bit of a soft call there. I'm not sure how effective that block in the back truly was, but Birmingham now starting the second half with the ball on their own 19-yard line.
Their furthest back start here, they've always started their 30-plus yard line. but they can make long drives here as long as they don't turn the ball over.
Hands the ball off to West in the single back, who spins through but can't make it past the first hit. 5-yard gain there, 2nd and 5 now from the 24-yard line.
And I think this is one other thing Birmingham can take advantage of. All game, Philadelphia has been showing some sort of a soft zone. So if they attack the ground game, they can take advantage of those openings and those extra blocks downfield.
Lining with an offset fullback, Birmingham. Goodman passes the ball up to the north side to Nemchek, follows the lead block, but the Philadelphia defense is in with authority. Wallace and Golden there from those outside linebacking positions coming down and stopping the run with only 1 yard gained. Here they are once again with that offset single back formation with West lined up behind the offensive tackle. Skuzniak slightly rolls out to the north side of the ball and gets the ball to Has-Been Keys for a huge catch.
Another outside run by Has-Been Keys. He has been on that outside go route almost exclusively all night, and you see there the edge of your screen. He outruns one defender who stayed in zone, so only had the deep cornerback to try to wrestle the ball against, and he does, and makes another huge catch.
Goodman lines up under center with 3 receivers on the near side, takes a 5-step drop and gets an excellent hole. Finds Marquis Sango, who started the season as the favorite target, just between the free safety and the corner for an excellent grab.
Yeah, that was just a curious throw, to say the least, as he throws it across the body, but Sango makes a nice catch and bails out. I wouldn't say bail out because the throw was to a wide open receiver anyway, but he converts the play.
It's an aggressive look for sure, but that's what Goodman has become known for. He is not afraid to put faith in his receivers. Even when the receiver is a running back, a nice little swing to West there, gets a 6-yard gain with some open field.
Yeah, Lenore West, you were talking about the balance of offense through the air and through the ground. She has been their premier running back with 674 yards. Not much heard from her tonight, but she gets her name called with that nice catch.
Nice little toss to the north side to Nemchek, but Sammy Seatbelt III once again showing his aggressive and strong nature. You don't always see a corner coming in and meeting at the line of scrimmage like that, but Seatbelt is unafraid to get dirty in the run game.
It almost looked like Seatbelt was sent on the run blitz to make that play.
Goodman drops back with time in the pocket, gets the ball out to the big stepper, but the stepper is met there by Nick Fargo, the interior linebacker for Philadelphia. 4th and 3rd now. Birmingham's going to have to make a choice.
Interesting choice to go to the flat, because as we've seen all night, the only thing that, or one of the few things that this defense is able to stop well, are the flats because of the nature of the defensive scheme they have on the field.
Great punt and risky maneuver by Philadelphia to let it go. Great stop by the Birmingham special teams unit to get Philly's drive started now in the 4-yard line. Both teams starting this half with their worst field position of the night.
Suddenly the safety is prime for something that you can look for if you're Birmingham. If you can force a sack or TFL against the running back.
Skuzniak lined up in our center with a single fullback, Jesse the Fret's turns, but he breaks through and gives this breathing space that Philadelphia needed. Huge run for the premier running back there, getting the Philadelphia Cougars all the way up to about the 15-yard line.
And William Patterson was sent on the run blitz, but Fretz just outruns the blitz, gets downfield to the second level, breaks one tackle before being tackled and brought down by the safety, and it's a quick 10-yard game. They're quickly out of the shadow of their end zone.
And that just goes to show you how strong Fretz is. Nearly half of his yards come after the carry, but here comes Smithers in the 4th, who just has a hole the size of the Grand Canyon and busts open the longest play of the night for either team.
Yeah, It's a great run by Witherson. Look at that run to the outside. Everyone trying to chase him. Some might not pin him as the speediest running back across, the minor league, but speedy enough to make that incredible play.
Well, and again, we're looking at a team with that 1-2 running back punch that works so well here in the SFLm. Here we see Fretz with that one play of rest, and he's able to jump forward for another 12-yard gain. Just huge work by both of these Philadelphia running backs and their entire offensive line.
Yep, and you already know what the mission is here. Give the ball to your two superstar running backs. Both it's a 1-2 punch of power with Fretz and speed with Witherson the fourth. They line up in the A set, two tight ends again here, Jesse.
And getting Witherson the ball, and he stiffs arm one tackle, stiffs arm a second tackle, and is forced out of bounds after a 6-yard gain. Excellent work here in Philadelphia. Looks like they are in control of the second half by pounding the rock on the ground.
Back here again. Give it back. It's now Smithers in the backfield.
Smisniak scans the defense in front of him and hands the ball to his back. Fretz hurdles over one blocker on the ground. Can't quite stretch for that first. 3rd and 1 now for Philadelphia after some excellent blocking up front by Kerry Jenkins, the offensive guard.
And it's their combo of running outside. You go left, or they go left, or they go right. They might surprise you. They go inside.
Yet again, handing it off, switching every time. Smithers Witherson the fourth gets that ball outside the exterior tackle. Al Friedman sets him up well on that left side, and we get another first down for Philadelphia.
And already somewhat within field goal range here. It would be about a 45-ish yard range to kick from here.
Handing the ball off to the Fretz Prince, who spins through for another 5-yard gain, keeping that season average of about 4.5 strong. Fretz is averaging tonight just about 5 still. 6-1, 2 touchdowns already, and approaching that century mark. Here we have Smithers Witherson the fourth on the field, and he gets the ball, is able to swing through, but only get 2 yards out of it, and he is popped down by the strong safety, Sam Garnes, coming down to meet the runner.
And he delivers a huge hit. Witherson also a little bit slowed down as he was trying to find the holes and gaps in the blocking to get through, and that's just enough time for the tackle to be made.
Skumsniak takes the snap, moves around in the pocket, gets the ball to McBrownski, but he is smacked down by the safety, Scotty Kilgannon. Was that Sokassi on the coverage? Yes, that's Dustin Sokassi.
Yes.
Who gets him right in the midsection there. Clean play to break up that pass.
Yep, the ball was in McBrownski's chest. John had only to hang on to it, but yeah, what a play by Sokassi. And if you're equipment crew, probably change those gloves or add some more sticky tape to it, because those are the kind of plays you don't want dropped. It's still going to end up in a 10-point lead.
Teaches with a perfect kick right up that middle aisle of the end zone. And sure enough, it is a 10-point game now, 24-14. Birmingham's going to have to turn on the depths of their playbook here as they try to figure out how to get this second half going in their favor to try and end their season on the strong note that they started it. Here comes Peaches out for the place kick. Getting it out, we've got Pierce and Sango in the backfield. Nolan Pierce takes the kick, runs with speed, spins through a hit, tries to follow his blocker, and again, can't quite make it to that 30-yard line.
It's still, pretty decent return. Nolan Pierce has been balling out. You look at the total return yards. That's also not showing his numbers as a receiver. He's had a couple of nice catches here. Birmingham down 10. Still have about a quarter and a third, to put up points here. But you're thinking touchdown if you're Birmingham.
That's absolutely right. Goodman lines up with that I formation, 2 on the far side, passes the ball out to Wells, the fullback, who's able to turn what looked like a 1-yard loss into just a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Seatbelt again has been reading these running backs really, really well all night.
And also, not only is he reading them well, he's put in a position to make the play. The nature of having those soft zones means he's always in the vicinity of those flats to make the play and attack.
2 receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side, hands the ball in the offset west, but she is met behind the line about where that first pass to Wells went, and we are now at 3rd and 11. Birmingham is not having the drive that they were looking for here. Single back, 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Goodman's going to need to get some magic happening here. Takes the ball and rolls to the near side of the field. Scans down, and the ball hits Has-Been Keys in the hand and just goes up and comes down.
That is unfortunate, John. Keys was there. He was wide open. And probably the ball was just thrown too hard because it just bounces off of his hands. Very unfortunate. That would have been the play that kept the drive alive and a chance for points. Instead, they find themselves punting here with Philadelphia at prime position to get and extend the lead.
Straczynski kicks the ball off Jackson with an excellent return there, bringing it up to the 45-yard line, just shy of midfield.
Man, that's gotta hurt if you're the offensive coordinator or even if you're Coach Goodman for Birmingham. It stings that you have a wide open receiver with mitts on the ball, but instead you gotta rely on your defense, give them the pep talk, and tell them, hey, give us the ball back because we need to run that play back.
Skimizniak lines up under center, moves Jackson from the near sideline to a slot on the far side, takes the snap, 3-step drop, and quickly gets the balls out to Jackson after that motion, who comes forward for a nice 8-yard gain. Now, if you're Philadelphia, you can't get complacent. You're still playing the number 1 seed in the league right now, and if you give up too soft, they're going to come back quick here in the second half. Mark, if you're Philadelphia, how are you going to keep this lead on your side?
I mean, the run game has been working well in the previous drive. There's a good chance they go back to the well here. As they do, that's fresh Prince on the play. You just got to avoid instances where you find yourselves behind schedule or having to throw in 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. And it's 3rd and 1 here. This is ideal for them for a run play with potentially Fretz or even Withers in the 4th.
Looks like they've got Withers in the 4th on the field here. Skimizniak directly under center, motioning Jackson. Looks like that's been his play here in the second half, is moving Jackson from side to side to try and read what that defense is giving him in front. Takes the ball and hands it off to Fretz, who is met at the line and can't spin off the hits with that trademark strength, is not able to fall forward now. 4th and 1 at midfield.
Beautiful play by the defensive line. Sorry, go ahead.
That's right. Just great play by Himes, Callahan, and Smith. But Philadelphia is not giving up easy. They're bringing out the offense again at 4th and 1, handing the ball off to Smitherson, who falls forward with a defender draped all over him. William Patterson can't bring him down. 1st down, Philadelphia.
It's the mirror, an exact mirror of the previous play, a run to the outside. And the defense, the exact mirror too, where they set their defensive line in a contained type of rushing scheme. But this time, Philadelphia converts on the play.
Keeping the ball on the ground here, getting it to Prince, who spins through and gets 20 plus on this play again. Prince is just absolutely loving this final home game of his regular season.
There must be some regal aura that just renders the defenders clueless. It doesn't even seem like a difficult play for Jesse there, John. He had to just run forward, and the first instance of resistance was at the end of the run.
That's 3/4 in the book. Birmingham 14, Philadelphia 24 in this final week of SFLm play. Make sure everyone get your fours up in chat. I see you all out there. JW, Jason, Goose, Rodney, Joker, and the whole crew acting up today. I appreciate you out here enjoying this SFLm Tuesday night action. Skmizniak takes a snap and pitches the ball a little too low for Jackson to make the grab. 2nd and 10 now.
I wonder if Skmizniak, feeling a little left out here in the offensive pleasantries, wanted to also make a few yards here before the game ended, decided to go on the throw, but it's an incompletion.
Keeping with that single back lining up under center, going back to moving the fridge. That the Lock Jensen moving about the line here. Seeing we're going to set up a near side run. Maybe no. Skmizniak just gets eaten. 3rd sack of the night for Rodney Smith. Once again, just blasting past the right side tackle, Roman Oben, for a massive sack once again. I think that's another 5-yard loss.
And this time, that exact sack, it's a different story this time, John. It's overloading the rushing and the blockers with an extra linebacker rushing, which meant no blocker to account for number 99, Rodney Smith.
Now, San Jose's Dave Wolf might be leading the league in sacks, but this Birmingham defensive front as a unit, as a team, is leading the league in all team sacks. But Rodney Smith is looking to take control of that. Clearly, Skmizniak's got a little bit of nerves going today, just throws that ball where nobody can catch it, and now Philadelphia is forced to punt on 4th and 16.
That's, I guess, probably still out of Sophia Peaches' range, which is unfortunate. This would have been put at the 44-yard. Will Philadelphia
muffs a fair catch, and Philadelphia comes down with the ball. Looks like there was a wave for a fair catch by Nolan Pierce, but this Philadelphia swirling wind makes the ball uncatchable, and the heads-up play by this Philadelphia special teams unit gets them the ball back at the Birmingham 16-yard line. The drive is still alive. Wow. Skmizniak lined up under center with 2 tight ends and receiver on the far side, hands the ball off to Fritz, who runs it in the middle, slightly to the near side, for a 4-yard gain.
That is absolutely nuts there, John. If you're Birmingham, you almost feel like a couple of things have not gone your way. You almost got out of the field with your defense, and instead they're back on the field.
Ooh, the muffed fair catch is something that every special teams coordinator dreads to see. Setting up Philadelphia here for definitely a field goal range drive, as they're not able to capitalize on that. 3rd and 6 now from about the 11-yard line. Skmizniak takes a snap, drops 3 steps back. He's got an open receiver on the 1-yard line. It is Dallas Sanders, the dev receiver, who gets a much-needed catch. Philadelphia now 1st and goal to go from about the 1, maybe even inside that 1. Wouldn't be surprised here if we see Fritz getting his 3rd.
Great route there, just the underneath route, underneath the defender. Beautiful inside route. Look at this. Oh, they throw it 1st and goal.
Ooh, trying to get Fritz a receiving touchdown to get a little bit of running, a little bit of passing, but he is met there at the line by Andrew Davison, one of the nickel and dime corners for Birmingham.
Surely they're thinking run ball now.
With the way the defense is stacked, I think you are probably correct. Motioning Dallas Sanders from the near to the far in a slot position. Skmizniak's trying to draw the defense away. Gets the ball to Fritz, who hurdles over defender, tries to dive in, and the refs say that he got it, say that forward momentum carried him through. That is Fritz's 3rd of the game. Philadelphia now up 30-14.
As they say, he broke the plane. Good enough for a touchdown and extending the lead to a whopping 16. Extra point, putting them up potentially to 17.
You're comes Sophia Peaches for the extra point. Beautiful snap and hold, and sure enough, there's the 17-point lead for Philadelphia. They call it a 13-play drive, but really it was a 9-play drive, a special teams play, and then a 3-play drive. Just an absolutely incredible heads-up play by that Philadelphia unit, both offensively and on the special teams.
Well, Birmingham with 6 minutes to go here, John. Down 3 scores. If there's any team who can come up with magic, it's got to be Michael Goodman or Jordan Goodman and company, coached by Michael Goodman.
Coached by Michael, and you've got that right. Michael and Jordan have a history of making these fourth quarter comebacks, but they did it on the field together. The question is, are they able to draw up this magic with one on the sideline and one on the field? Here's Jordan lined up under center again with that offset single back formation. Looks at the field and hands the ball off to Lenore West, who pushes off the first tackle, but is ganged up on the second layer for just a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and I'm not liking the lack of, urgency or sense of urgency. You're down 3 scores, and 6 minutes to go. You divide that into 3 possessions. You have 2 minutes per drive to put scores up.
That's exactly right. And you can't deviate from your game plan. You got to work with what got you here. But you're absolutely right about that, Mark. Birmingham's going to need to start playing with a little bit more urgency and a little bit more fire, as that pass is just slightly overthrown with excellent defensive coverage by Kev Say Jr., the strong safety.
Yeah, it's great coverage, but I tell you what, John, it's the same coverage this time. They beat that exact post route. They force a 3rd and 6 here.
Single back offset again. Goodman takes the snap, overthrows the ball, bobbled around between seatbelt and Drizzy, but there is a DPI on the play. Let's see who it comes down against. They are saying that there's just a little bit too tight a coverage here.
Sammy.
And they're saying, just that rub route was a little too hard of a rub by the strong safety number 24 there. And there's a PI on the play. Gives Birmingham a fresh set of downs now all the way up at the 38-yard line. Once again in the offset single back, moving from the far side to the near side. Keys sets up into a trips formation. Goodman surveys the field and snaps the ball, takes a 5-step drop, throws it off his back foot, moving away from the line of scrimmage, and the defense is a little too tight. There's Nick Fargo in the middle of the field once again, preventing a reception.
Yeah, just good pass rush pressure, getting close to, once again, Goodman. Have we seen Goodman sack? Because even if he did, I feel like it's so rare, but they always get close to it.
They've been putting on the pressure, but I think you are correct. His uniform has stayed clean. Here's one of the few split back formation snaps we've seen from Birmingham tonight. Quick gain for Lenore, setting up a 3rd and 6, now just over that 6-minute mark on the clock.
You are in field goal range potentially, or probably a yard shy of a field goal range. You go here for 4 wide receivers.
Takes the drop back once again. Pressure is on him, but he gets the ball out, and time has been. Keys comes down with the ball for a huge first down. Now 5 minutes 30 to go. That play alone took 30 seconds off the clock. Birmingham's going to need to start moving faster and faster and faster.
And this second half, especially here in the fourth quarter, Keys has woken up. Django West, we have yet to hear much from here in the second half, John. Surely they're going to start calling his number. They line up single back, 4 wide receivers again.
Flipping the script, the receivers are on the far side instead of the near side, and that's why huge play for the rookie receiver, the big stepper. Had a couple of rough plays earlier in this half, but that is what you need from your rookie pass catchers if you're the Birmingham Hellhounds.
Yeah, and a touchdown for him. Had 0 coming into last week. So a great touchdown pickup by the rookie to give this team a chance, a fighting chance, cutting the lead to 10 here.
Maniac stepping out for his extra point and fighting that Philadelphia win, but he does make it. It is now a 10-point game. And there we have it, Birmingham getting the score that they needed in a minute and 44. The question is, can their defense get a stop? Here's Maniac stepping out for the place kick, setting up to receive. We have Jackson and Jones in the Philadelphia back. This time Jackson takes the kick. She moves past over the 30, stiff arms her defender at the 35, and is brought down nearly to the 40 at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and obviously the plan is get your defense off the field, force a 4 and out, or at least, not too much time off the clock. But John, that is easier said than done against this offense that is starring both Jesse Fretz and Smithers Witherson IV in the backfield. Just if you're Philadelphia and if you're the coach, just you're thinking, give those two guys the ball.
No, you're absolutely right. But if you're Birmingham, you can't overcommit because Ladon McBrownski has been absolutely dominating this game already. But there's Fretz with the handoff, but I think we have an injury on the field here. Ooh, the strong safety, Sam Garnes, who is a huge part of that Birmingham defensive backfield, slow to get up today.
Had a few plays today, including the one tackle for loss earlier, the lone tackle for loss on Fretz. But again, way ahead of schedule is this Philadelphia run game, 2nd and 2 now. Oh my, look at those numbers.
Fretz now 120 yards on 20 carries. They are feeding him the rock, and you can see why. That man is running with authority behind his line and his big tight ends. Here we've got the lock moving from the near side to the far side on the line. And Fretz takes the ball and runs behind that block set up by the lock for another huge first down. And if you're Birmingham, you're going to start to get desperate, and you might start to see some timeouts flying a little earlier than they were anticipating.
Yeah, if you're the defense, you don't want to line up here with only 7 in the box, and 3 of those 7 are pretty far back.
That's a soft shell for those linebackers. Looks like they're lined up in man as one defender crosses the field alongside Queen Jackson, but they're going to hand the ball off to the running back anyway. Ooh, Monte Parson III was ready for the pass. He was attacking that quarterback and just overran the runner instead.
Yeah, regardless of his intent, they called the play where they blitzed Parson, as you mentioned, and in this case, luckily enough, the rusher run his direction, and he was just in the vicinity to make the hit.
Smithniak lined up here under center at the 45-yard line. One of the rare plays with no pre-snap motion. No. He doesn't need any. Fretz gets the ball, is able to just dance east-west a little bit and gets a nice gain here. 3rd and 1 to go, and that clock just keeps on ticking like the days of our lives.
And it's a beautiful play call there, John. The defense lined up expecting a strong side run. You saw the 2 tight ends on one side. Where did Philadelphia go? They run weak side. The Fretz Prince picks up 9 in one play,
keeping his average exactly at 6 yards a carry. Fretz is ending his season on a statement, but not to be left out. Here's Smithers Witherson IV, who breaks through the line and gets a huge run brought down at the 14-yard line. And there's the 2nd Birmingham strong safety injured on this drive. Jamie Henderson is now out, so they're going to have to move strong free safety John McGraw or one of their corners, Mickens or Abraham, into that strong safety spot for the remainder of this game.
Oh, man. I think Jason Osterholt in chat might get his wish of seeing 2 running backs in the same team with 100 yards each. I don't know how far away Witherson IV is from 100, but what a play by him. A huge one gets him closer to the 100.
Just incredible work here as we see McBrownski moving from the near side of the field to the far side. Again, pulling out that Birmingham defense. Fretz jukes through a defender here, gets a nice 9-yard gain on this drive, and he is not content with 3 scores. He wants more.
Yeah, and it's paying off. The run game has been paying off. The progressions by the rookies have paid off, and what a beautiful ball game here, coached by the Philadelphia head coaches and offensive coordinators. 2nd and 1. You're gonna see Wizards in the fourth in the backfield, and you can almost spell end zone in this play alone.
Just as Birmingham was trying to get their drives done in under 2 minutes, Philadelphia is content to let the clock continue to grind out here, taking this play clock all the way down to the 2. Witherson is able to fall forward for that first down now. 1st and goal to go from the 3-yard line, it looks like. Philadelphia is in great position to own the end of this game any way that they want it.
Yep. 2 minutes to go. 10 points, a field goal minimum. And here comes the 2-minute warning.
There's the 2-minute warning. 21 Birmingham, 31 Philadelphia. We've got ourselves quite a game here. Offensive output is high by both teams. I want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to the entire Virtual Football Network media crew. Make sure that you're tuning into shows with Ashley Jackson and DJ Kilgannon. If you want to find out more about the SFL and the SFLm and all of its participants, here we get the rare neutral zone in front of the encroachment penalty by Philadelphia. Not something you see every day in the SFL or the SFLm. This Virtual Football Network line play is pretty clean, but we got some offensive encroachment, a rare call to start these last 2 minutes of the regular season. Handing the ball off to Fretz, who can't make it through the stacked goal line box of Birmingham. Hellhounds calling their first time out of the half. 2nd and goal to go, still keeping that ball there on that 2-yard line.
Yeah, and Philadelphia is just in the perfect position here. They line up shotgun. They're just going to run this with Skamizniak himself.
Empty set. Sure enough, there's the diving Skamizniak, the Eastern European hammer himself, slamming the railroad spike home. Philadelphia now up 37-21. Here comes Sophia Peaches to make it 38.
Wow, I mean, what a run, too. You know, you line up shotgun empty. What do you do as a defense? You got to respect the pass. But they just take advantage of it. Skamizniak with wide open lanes. So once again, got to credit this blocking line, because how often have we said wide open lanes? Who else but the offensive line to make those lanes available?
Friedman, LaRue, and the Philadelphia O-line crew are definitely getting their steak dinners paid for tonight. They have earned it. Fretz, Witherson, and Skamizniak have had all the time in the world, with the exception of the sacks by Rodney Smith, of course.
Right.
Here comes Peaches to line up for the place kick, sending that ball out to Nolan Pierce. And Marquise Sango gets the ball there. Met at the 35-yard line, able to fall forward to take it up to the 36. But Mark, with less than a minute 45 to go, you wonder what Birmingham's going to try to do to make this a tighter game here in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got nothing left to lose here. The game is essentially won by Philadelphia. They're up 17. 3 scores in a minute 50 is beyond the mountain to climb here. So we'll see what they do. They obviously don't want to go down without a fight. So Jordan Goodman will start with this round.
Passing the ball outside to the big stepper, who's able to roll that ball out of bounds. At the very least, it stops the clock after just a 2-yard gain.
And we'll see if they, and I think they should, add more downfield passes. We have seen those all game. We have seen the outside fade routes, outside go routes to Keys, right? The post routes to Django West. We need more of those here.
Here we've got 3 receivers in sort of a trip on the far side, and he looks to pass it to Lenore West out of a receiving running back spot, but she is just walloped by the linebacker there and can't come down with the pass. 3rd and 8 now for Birmingham.
Bunch look here. We haven't seen them. The one play we've seen them here didn't go so well for them.
Jordan Goodman rolls out to the far side and he throws an interception. The free safety Tyler Highfield from DC comes down and all but seals this game and laminates it. That is a dagger of a pick by Highfield. Absolutely when the Cougars needed it. And now Philadelphia's got the ball on the Birmingham 37 with 1:30 to go, up 17 points.
Yeah, just wow. Just what a play by all facets here by Philadelphia. They forced 2 picks in the same game against Goodman. I mean, that is incredible.
The lock moving to the near side of the field. Fretz gets the ball handed off to him, sheds off 1 tackle, but can't quite get past the 2nd. Falls forward, but the 1st down is there. Birmingham calls their 2nd timeout of the night, and they are watching their chances dwindle to 0 quickly.
Yep, I'd even go as far as to say watching their chances dwindle to less than 0 as the game has been won even prior to the interception.
And there's the victory formation, the final timeout from Birmingham. And it looks like both 2 games of our Tuesday triple header that we've started with have started with upsets. First with Anchorage upsetting the San Jose Flight in some last-minute heroics. And now the Philadelphia Cougars defeating the #1 seed Birmingham Hellhounds to take their season to an even 500 here in Week 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And great seasons by all teams, right? And despite calling them losses, in reality, all teams have chances against each other. In my opinion, all teams are almost equally matched. It's just that, Coach Goodman has been putting out an incredible season for the Birmingham Hellhounds here. Philadelphia finally put one that stuck it up to the man. They said, here, take an L, and the big one at that.
You've certainly got that right. Birmingham and San Jose, of course, are still locked into those first-round byes for the upcoming SFLm playoffs. But this win by Philadelphia could absolutely determine who gets home seating between them and the San Diego Aces, who are going to be closing out our regular SFLm season next with a game at the New York Gargoyles. Here's Tom Tupa for his punt. Another excellent one here. The Philadelphia special teams unit cannot quite get them pinned into the coffin. But frankly, Mark, I don't think it matters that much. With 3 points to score 17, I'm not sure what the game plan is going to be for the Hellhounds here.
They might need to tap to the Speed Force, have the actual Flash run a 0.5-second touchdown. But we'll see. They line up Hail Mary, and it might be the last play of the ballgame.
Philadelphia in that prevent D. Skmizniak takes the deep pass and throws an excellent downfield ball, but just overthrows his receiver. And that's all she wrote. Birmingham 21 to fall to 7-3 on the season. Philadelphia 38 to end their season at 5-5. Absolutely excellent work by both teams here tonight. But Mark, tell me who gets your game ball.
That's a tough question. Probably the obvious one would be Jesse Fretz with over 120 yards on the ground. We're gonna take a look at that 150. Man, Witherson's
2 yards shy.
Man, right? It's easy to give it to Jesse Fretz, but you also gotta give maybe half of the ball game to McBrowski because he was the one who carried the team as far as the early quarters of the ball game to get them in the position where they can just hand it off to Jesse and Smithers, without a care in the world because McBrowski already did the work with the scoring and the catching early.
You've got that right. And McBrownski showed absolutely no fear stepping up into that number one receiver role after the league-leading Victor Rojas went down early. This was an absolutely wonderful game to call and watch, and I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as I know that we did. On behalf of my partner, Mark Lopez, and SFLm Commissioner Alex West, who's pushing the buttons in the booth here, have an absolutely wonderful night, and thank you for joining us on the Virtual Football Network. Don't forget to tune in next to the San Diego Aces at the New York Gargoyles. Good night.